Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis again. I'm making this video for all the junk removal entrepreneurs. I realize that so many people have gotten into it, gotten into this industry. Like everybody with a pickup truck and a trailer or ability to have commercial equipment to do jobs, maybe rent from Ryder or U-Haul or Penske or Enterprise or whatever. A lot of you guys have gotten into it. And I refuse to accept calling junk removal a side hustle. This mentality is a detriment to our industry. If junk removal was just a side hustle, it would not be a $10 billion a year service. That's not side hustle money, guys. Some guys get into it and they want to charge 40 or 50 bucks just to get a job, or 100 bucks for an $800 job. And all you're doing is making a problem for yourself. Now, the other day I made a video about pricing, and this is part of it. But what I really want to focus on is the mentality. If you treat junk removal like a business, it will perform like a business. Guys getting on Facebook and other platforms, and should I get a license? Should I get insurance? Yeah, if you want to last. And nobody understands everything when they first get into something, and it's not just as simple as going to pick up a couch or going to pick up a tree brush. It's something that you have to constantly grow into. So you have to constantly manicure this thing. I wasn't a big AI fan, but starting to use AI a bit more. And most of all, you have to know your lane. When you first start off, you're going to wear many hats, but once you get to a certain point, you got to, take off some of those hats and shed some of that responsibility and know how to delegate. Because if you're an entrepreneur and you're making, let's say you're making $150,000, $200,000 job, $150,000, $200,000 a year, you should not be doing $10, $12, $15 hour jobs inside of your company. We all have to not only work in our business, but work on our business. So you have to kind of grow with it. And there are companies out there making, 7, 8 figures. I've been in it for 18 years and I still research things. I still watch certain videos. There's still certain components that I'm adding, certain things that I'm shedding. Listen to different ones, what's his name? Ricardo Hernandez. I'm sorry, I think he goes by Richard now, but whatever. Lee Godbold, he has a wealth of information. I've started watching this gentleman who is into landscaping and lawn maintenance, Mike Andes. He's great for home service providers. So you have to kind of add, subtract, adjust, manipulate things along the way. If you're going to be a home service provider, your first responsibility is being a problem solver. That's your first responsibility. So with that being said, guys, I don't consider junk removal a side hustle. Not with this type of financial, what's the word I'm looking for here? My mind's getting bad. The older I get, the worse I get. But not with this type of financial potential that's involved. The guys from 1-800 Got Junk legitimized this industry, so now it's time to take it, 2 or 3 levels above where they finished off. You look at a guy like Ricardo, like I said, Ricardo Hernandez, he franchises Mr. Martinez up north, I can't remember the name of the company, used to be Veterans Haul Junk. He's franchising, so there's great potential here. There's so much garbage and trash to be hauled. It's enough for everybody. And, lowballing has no place in this industry. So if you guys really, really, really want to succeed, man, tighten up the service that you offer. Sometimes you got to go wide, but in going wide, sometimes you got to go deep. Sometimes you have to add services. Sometimes you have to know your area. But this is not a side hustle. This is an industry. All right, you guys have a blessed day.